where JoJo lives and was working last night. Now, of course, this could just be JoJo and Chris messing with us.
Look, life is life. You never know where life's gonna take you, but I can tell you today, right now, Chris.
That has come into my life.
No, because I straight up said, what are your boundaries?
JoJo Siwa is everywhere right now, and not just because of her Big Brother drama. After her appearance on the Vile Files podcast, the internet exploded with reactions, theories, and finger pointing. But behind the polished press tour is a breakup spiraling into a PR mess. JoJo's telling her side, Kath's clapping back, and now fans are caught in the crossfire dissecting every cuddle, TikTok post, and economy seat. What really happened between JoJo and Kath, and is JoJo trying to spin the story or just survive it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a draw. Seriously, your support means everything. I see you, I appreciate you, and I love this little community we've built. JoJo Siwa just lit the internet on fire again. After a tell-all interview on the Vile Files podcast, social media timelines have been flooded with takes, tears, and pure chaos. What was supposed to be a feel-good appearance with longtime friends Nick and Natalie Vile quickly turned into a flashpoint for fans, and not because of what JoJo said, but because of everything she didn't say. The public's divided. Her ex Kath dropped a 13-minute TikTok that some are calling a masterclass in quiet devastation. Meanwhile, JoJo's insisting there was no cheating, no betrayal, just a relationship that couldn't survive reality TV. But then, why are so many people calling her out for emotional manipulation? Why does a business class plane ticket have fans foaming at the mouth? And who really crossed the line, JoJo or Kath? This isn't just a messy breakup, it's a full-blown PR war, with cuddles, confessions, and cryptic boundaries. Let's break it all down.
So many reasons why my breakup happened. Christopher is not one of them. And I actually told this to Kath, I was like, maybe it would be easier if he was. But
Sure.
He is not one of them. So if you're gonna share the story, share the story.
The romantic side of the speculation, it paints this picture of like infidelity and paints you as a villain.
Don't paint it out to look like I cheated on you with him, because I did not. I will nail my feet into the ground and I will stand on that ground. I did not, I would not, and I have not. You know what I mean?
Were you presented with doubts about your actions in the house with Chris?
No.
Okay.
No, because I straight up said, what are your boundaries?
At no time am I watching you and Chris and wondering
Like,
if you're seriously having a thing with this guy, or if you know, like I know who you are.
Our bond is beautiful, but our bond is what you saw.
So here's how it started. JoJo stopped by the Vile Files as part of her Big Brother press tour. And on the surface, it was all love. Nick and Natalie Vile, who became close to JoJo during their time on Special Forces, welcomed her with open arms. They laughed, they sympathized, they backed her up. For JoJo, it was a safe space. For viewers, it was a red flag. Because instead of digging into the emotional mess left behind from Big Brother, the hosts, who JoJo openly calls close friends, spent most of the episode defending her. They downplayed her behavior in the house, brushed past the controversy with her ex, and gave JoJo every chance to shape her own narrative, and she took it. JoJo made it clear, in her eyes, the breakup wasn't about Chris Hughes, it wasn't about cheating, it was just a relationship that had already started to shift. But the problem, her version of events didn't line up with what fans or Kath saw unfold on screen. And while JoJo framed the interview as her setting the record straight, many viewers walked away feeling like she was dodging accountability again.
You guys, are Chris Hughes and JoJo Siwa together in California right now? I think they might be. JoJo had a random speaking engagement last night at Stanford University in California. Chris has just posted on his Snap story a screenshot of a GPS showing that he is in California on Route 5, which connects Los Angeles and Silicon Valley, which is where Stanford University is located. Chris seems to be staying in a hotel and wants to go for a workout. And in Chris's car was a very girly looking mug with what sounded like a girl giggling. Now, I thought this could be any girl, of course, but then I realized he was in California, where JoJo lives and was working last night. Now, of course, this could just be JoJo and Chris messing with us. JoJo definitely could have sent Chris the videos and had him post them just to get people talking. She did say in Stanford that Chris was not there. However, she is still wearing his ring and double bagging her tea. Now, if JoJo isn't actually with Chris, but just driving around the countryside of California seeing signs of him, well, that's giving a whole different story. That's giving more, why you so obsessed with me, than California. So, do you think that JoJo and Chris are actually together in California, or were they just messing with us? Tell me in the comments.
JoJo's version of the breakup paints it as clean. No infidelity, no betrayal, just two people who loved each other but couldn't make it work under pressure. According to her, she and Kath were already emotionally drifting apart when Big Brother started. She says the feelings weren't the same, the vibe had changed, and what the public saw wasn't a sudden implosion but a slow unraveling. But here's the catch. Kath's silence during that time said more than words ever could. She didn't post, didn't vent, didn't expose anything and until the show aired, and then came the TikTok. The not so subtle references. The 13-minute video where she didn't name names but didn't have to. Kath wasn't accusing JoJo of cheating. What she was describing sounded a lot like emotional betrayal. The kind that cuts deeper than any hookup. And looming over all of this, Chris Hughes, JoJo's Big Brother bestie turned potential maybe something. JoJo insists Chris was just her comfort in the house. Nothing romantic, nothing inappropriate. But to Kath watching from the outside, it wasn't about what happened. It was about what it meant. The cuddling, the closeness, the emotional bond JoJo formed with someone else while still technically in a relationship. That's where the heartbreak really started.
Honestly thought I would come on here right now with my partner being like, it was just a TV show and it was all fabricated and we're happy as Larry.
But JoJo didn't just defend herself, she flipped the script. In the podcast, she claimed that Kath crossed boundaries too. That even before she entered the Big Brother house, there were already moments that made JoJo question the relationship. It was her way of saying, hey, I wasn't the only one with blurred lines.
We broke up for these reasons, and you know that. Kath posted a video basically alluding to Chris and I are the reasons that we broke up. That's not the case. That is not the truth. And they know that and I know that. So they were going to, post their video again, but because they wanted to share their story, but say like, hey, I did give some misleading information. Like JoJo and I have talked a bit more. Here's the truth, because I don't expect them to air out all the reasons why I did end things between us, because if they did, it would be a little crazy. But all good if they wanted to, but I don't think that's the right thing to do either.
And that's when things got even messier, because JoJo says she and Kath had set explicit boundaries before the show started. According to her, they both agreed on what was okay and what wasn't while JoJo was in the house. But clearly those lines weren't as clear as they thought. JoJo felt like she stuck to the rules. Kath felt blindsided. And they're watching this emotional tennis match and asking the one question no one can seem to answer. Who really broke the deal?
Were you just as shocked as like the rest of us to see their video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely was. I was on the phone with my mom and I saw it on Instagram first and it was, cut off. So I was like, oh, the full version must be on TikTok. And then I saw the full 13-minute version, and I was like, "Oh, I'll be genuine. I did not.
13
watch
minutes is
13 minutes is
forever.
Crazy.
I did not watch it. I did not watch it.
That's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's not just about what happened between JoJo and Chris. It's about how much emotional intimacy is too much when you're still with someone, and whether JoJo's version of the truth is the whole truth or just the most convenient one.
And I had a few boundaries for them while we were in the house, and they actually did proceed to break those boundaries. I will say that. And that's something that it wasn't big enough for me to care about, but it was something that I had specifically asked, like, hey, look, for the 20 days, just can it with a few conversations. And those conversations actually picked up more. They had in-person ones as well. And like that for me was like, okay, look, I'm ending things anyways. It's just another reason, what I mean? It was another piece of pie on the plate.
After JoJo's podcast dropped, it didn't take long for Kath to respond. Not with a call out, but with a carefully edited 13-minute TikTok that felt more like a breakup documentary than a social media post. No names were mentioned, but the pain was loud. Kath laid out her side, not with accusations, but with details that painted a picture of quiet devastation. Watching someone you love bond with another person on national television, seeing cuddles and inside jokes from the outside looking in, and realizing the relationship ended long before the actual breakup. What hit people hardest wasn't just what Kath said, it was how she said it. Calm, measured, no drama, no theatrics, just honesty. And the internet noticed. Comment sections filled with people calling Kath mature, heartbroken, and more than anything, real. Suddenly, JoJo's polished podcast tour started looking more like damage control than authenticity. And while JoJo claims she was shocked Kath posted that video, fans weren't. To them, it was the natural reaction of someone who'd been holding back and finally couldn't anymore.
I knew I wasn't in a place for that. I'm already having all these crazy thoughts that I've been having in the house, and I need to formulate them. I need to talk to my mom. I need to be alone. I need to look at my phone. I need to see what's going on. I need to realize, what am I feeling? What are these thoughts? I'm not in a place to talk. So I'm in a place to have a fun, cute opening conversation, but I'm not in a place to actually talk yet. And then about an hour into the wrap party, at the time, my partner said, I want to come now. I've changed my mind. Like, what's the mood? I filmed a video of the party. I said, it's not really your scene, but if you would love to come, like, come. And so when they got to the party, they had these little, like, they were kind of like bananas for us. They were like little huts. And so we started to have a conversation. And I was like, just come in here for 10 minutes. Let's just have a chat before we go over there. And that conversation started immediate, and I was going to lead the talking, but then they kind of led the talking. And all I'm saying to every question they ask is, I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting cussed out. The security guard kept turning around to me being like, and I was like, you know what I mean? Like, because I understand where they're angry and where they're coming at me, but I also keep reiterating, like, I'm not in a place to talk. I was just with 13 people, down to 6, locked away for 20 days. I haven't spoken to anybody. I'm now in a room with 200 people. We're in this hut. It's outside. I haven't slept in 24 hours. I don't know.
Overstimulated. I need to be alone.
Like, and now I'm just like, it's just a whirlwind. 16 times somebody asks you, are you happy? Do you want to end things? You're gonna just spew your guts. And I was honest, and I said, if you ask me tomorrow, I don't know my answer. If you ask me right now, my answer is yes.
Just when the emotional dust was starting to settle, a petty detail reignited everything. Yet then it involved a plane ticket. In her podcast interview, JoJo casually mentioned that after the breakup, she flew home in business class while Kath sat in economy. And suddenly that one detail became the moment fans couldn't stop talking about. Was it intentional? Was it symbolic? Did JoJo really let her heartbroken ex sit and coach while she sipped champagne up front? The internet had questions and theories. Some argued it was just how the tickets worked out. Others saw it as the final nail in the breakup coffin. A subtle flex that screamed, I've moved on and I'm flying higher. Whether JoJo meant it to land that way or not, it did hard. Because when you've just told the world that your breakup was respectful and mutual, dropping a detail like that, even unintentionally, feels cold. And in a saga already fueled by blurred boundaries and mixed signals, that business class seat became the perfect metaphor. One person moving on, the other left behind.
Theoretically, if I had a partner go on Big Brother, and theoretically that partner was, I don't know, fondling another man's butt, just pre-call the authority. It's done. It's over. I'm gonna black out. I will black out. I would need to be chained. If anyone's seen Vampire Diaries, when they chain, when they're like transforming to being a werewolf and they have to like chain themselves down, that would be me. Put me in a straitjacket. Like, actually, the woman I love is on live TV getting her back tickled. I don't even care that it's a man. She's getting her back tickled by someone that's not me. Oh, put me in prison. Actually, put me in jail. I would black out to the point where I would have amnesia and I would totally forget who my theoretical partner was. Like, if she came back after Big Brother and was like, babe, like, it was nothing, we're just friends, I'd be like, I actually have never met you. Like, why is there a stranger in my house? I'd be like, have we met? Like, I actually have no idea who you are. Like, you're freaking me out because you're...
But maybe the most chilling part of JoJo's interview wasn't about boundaries or business class. It was what she hinted at, and then left unsaid. Toward the end of the episode, JoJo casually dropped that Kath had recorded a video. A full-on tell-all, apparently. But she never posted it. Why? JoJo says she doesn't know. Maybe Kath changed her mind. Maybe someone advised her not to, or maybe it was something JoJo said that stopped it. Because JoJo also revealed that she'd told Kath she could see herself ending up with Chris Hughes. Not now, not soon, but someday. It was a loaded statement and it landed like a gut punch. Was JoJo unknowingly giving Kath closure or twisting the knife?
You don't get asked me for a business class flight home and then do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Or just
when I already got you a plane ticket home. You know what I mean? Like, it's, I don't know. There's just a lot of
business class. Nick doesn't even put me in business class.
Yeah.
You putting your ex in business class?
No, I did not. I was straight up. I was like, look, you posted the video again. You didn't give any context. Like, I don't feel comfortable asking my team to do that right now. Like, it's a mess. And we had a long talk about it not being a mess anymore. And it's a mess. And I think that there's just so much misinformation out there that would not be the right thing to do right now.
And fans are now wondering, was that the moment Kath decided to pull her video? Did she feel silenced, outplayed, or just too exhausted to keep fighting the narrative? Either way, JoJo's press tour suddenly feels a lot less like healing, and a lot more like strategy. Carefully curated interviews, friendly hosts, just enough vulnerability to seem relatable, but never enough to lose control of the story. So where does that leave us? With two very different versions of the same story, that one wrapped in PR polish, the other delivered in quiet heartbreak. JoJo says there was no cheating, just two people growing apart. Kath never called her out by name, but her pain spoke volumes, and somewhere in the middle, the truth is still unraveling.
Following up that and them saying they were going to make that statement, I also was going on a morning show the next day with Chris, and we were going to shut the JoJo and Chris rumors down, and we were going to say we're friends. And I also was sure to say, like, look, life is life. You never know where life's going to take you. But I can tell you today, right now, Chris and I are friends. We have a great special bond, but we are friends. But in regards to my ex now, the conversation that I had with them was they were going to do their video, give a little more context, and then they asked me to not speak about them.
Was this just a messy breakup magnified by reality TV, or was it a calculated pivot carefully managed in interviews and sound bites? Is JoJo trying to protect her peace or protect her image? And how much grace do we give someone still figuring themselves out in the public eye? Because at the end of the day, this wasn't just about boundaries, cuddles, or plane tickets. It was about what happens when a breakup becomes content and fans become the jury. Don't forget to check out the Blake Lively lawsuit video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.